I'm telling you, there was a time where I prioritized on the top of my list how I would look on the outside. My hair had to be done. My nails had to be done. But deep down inside, I was broken. I was broken, and so I dare not go back to that version of me. I love looking good, don't get me wrong. But no point will I ever go back to prioritizing that above my inner health and my inner being. And that is the same thing I'm encouraging my daughters to do. I want them to understand that, hey, it's good to be beautiful. It's good to take time in how you look and how you present yourself, because you are a daughter of the King. You are a child of Most High. So yes, I know a lot of us, we think that self-care is going to the nail salon and getting your nails done and going to the hair salon. At the end of the day, I want to be able to function mentally. I want to be good physically. I want to make sure that I am whole as a whole individual. You are a daughter of the King. You are a child of Most High. So yes, charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord is to be praised. Hey y'all, welcome to episode number 7 of Doing What Just Makes Sense with Mom of 8 raising 7 children. And today we're going to be talking about self-love and self-care. This is something very dear to my heart, and I just feel like it's just by communicating with other women, even as a hairstylist, a lot of us, we pride ourselves in how we look, which is there's nothing wrong with that, but we identify ourselves based on outward appearance. And so I wanted to come on and talk about that a little bit. I know many of y'all have already heard of this scripture before, but it's basically charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord is to be praised, right? So that scripture, what does that scripture mean to me? And by the way, that's from Proverbs. Please do not quote me because I can barely remember. I'll put it in here because I don't want to give y'all the wrong. It's Proverbs 31, I think. Charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord is to be praised. I remember being about 12 years old, I think, and my pastor, Pastor Wilkes at the time, he was my pastor, and him having all of the girls around that time, I think it was middle school, we had to go to the front of the church and we had to recite Proverbs 31. The whole entire thing, and whoever did, he was going to reward them at the end. I remember really focusing really hard on like, oh gosh, I gotta get this because I want a reward at the end, right? I wanted this reward that he spoke of at the end. And so I took my time, and every day after school I would focus on memorizing these scriptures, so that at the end of this period that I would be able to go up to the front of the church and I would be able to share it, and then I would receive this reward, right? Now, I didn't know at the time that one day in life I would want to be positioned, I would want to be a noble wife, because that's the whole purpose of the passage. It's just sharing about that noble wife. And honestly, it's more of a heart posture. It's something that you become before you get married. He had us, for some reason, I still don't remember, I still don't know that reason, but all I know is that he did have us recite that that entire passage. And I recited that entire passage, and one of the ones that stood out to me was charm is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord is to be praised. And then I had my mother for years, and she had 7 daughters. She would always tell us, don't just settle for pretty. Don't just settle for pretty. Don't just settle for pretty. Be a woman of substance. Be more than just pretty. And so for years, I've just always had that part just engraved into my soul, as in, okay, Ashley, it's okay to be beautiful. It's okay to have on a glitz and a glam, but be okay with being simply who you are, because your value is so much more than just how you look. So, and honestly, I haven't always walked that through, but that was always a part of my mind, whether it was at far front or whether it was the back of my mind, like the back of my mind. And so, I remember just constantly just having my mother again share like, okay, you're more than just how you look, Ashley. And she would share that with all of her daughters. She was like, because people would say, oh, they're beautiful, they're pretty, and this and third. And she would always encourage us, and she would always get us back on track and say, hey, you're more than how you look, girl. And so I just think about those when I think of love, when I think of self-care. And then even now at the age of 35, I'm beginning to realize just how important that we are focused on the inner beauty, if that makes sense. We're focused not just on the profile of who we are, but we are focused on the value that we've carried since birth. Since before we were even in our mother's womb, we were created. God created us with a value attached to us that the world didn't give, the world can't take away, that our image didn't give, and our image cannot take away. And so even when I think about self-care, especially as a mother of, how many children I got? I had to think about that. If you ever had to think about how many children you had while you was talking to somebody, comment below. I know I'm not the only one, but mother of 8 children, raising 7 children. Even now, I find it very important that if I have 2 hours to spare in a day or in a week, that I can focus on me. And let's be for real, I said day, but that ain't the case. That's more like in a week. If there is 2 hours to spare, those 2 hours, will they go towards my looks? Will I focus on that first? Will that be my first priority? Or will it be something different? Will it be something more substantial? For me, I 100%, baby, I'm gonna get me some rest. Because first of all, if I don't have the proper rest, my children are doomed. My clients, my customers are doomed. If I don't get the proper rest, baby, I ain't no good for nobody else. So for me, self-care is going to look like getting the rest, right? Not just resting mentally, but getting in God's presence and just allowing my spirit man to just rest. My worries, allowing them to rest. And I know that by living intentional, that is something that I'm going to be intentional about. I'm going to be intentional about going to my Father, whether I am sitting in a tub for about 30 minutes soaking, while I'm listening to soaking music, while I'm resting. I'm both resting my body, and I'm also resting my spirit, like just allowing God, just speaking to God, or just allowing God to speak to me. And so self-care, again, is so different. I know a lot of us, we think that self-care is going to the nail salon and getting your nails done and going to the hair salon. And listen, I was a stylist. Yes, I would love for you to come over and come get pampered. But I also was very intentional about when my clients come to me, that I was more than just a service provider to do hair, but whether I was playing something encouraging or uplifting, whether we were having an uplifting conversation, I was making sure that I wasn't just transforming their outward appearance, but that something on the inside of them would be transformed as well. And so it was like a win-win, right? And that was something that God shared with me. He was like, Ashley, you're not just a stylist. You're not just to transform their outer beauty, but you are to redirect them to me. That is, yes, that is your talent, but even in that, your gift is used to always build the kingdom of God. So always be mindful, be intentional about how you communicate with them, be intentional about what you have going on in the environment that you create, your atmosphere. That was something that God had shared with me, and I just kind of took it from there. What self-care looks like for me: self-care looks like taking a bath and being intentional about what I'm doing with my mental, with my spirit man while I'm taking that bath. Child, I'll fall asleep in the tub. I will truly fall asleep in the tub, and before you know it, the night have passed. And so I try to take baths in the daytime, like when my baby taking his nap. Just don't underestimate something so simple. You can take your favorite book with you. For years, I have done the whole, oh, I'm gonna do my hair once a week. Oh, I'm gonna make sure my nails done. And when time permit, that season will come. But that is not the season that I'm in now, and I'm okay with it. Okay. At the end of the day, I want to be able to function mentally. I want to be good physically. I want to make sure that I am whole as a whole individual, because I have to take care of a lot of children. And even if I didn't have to take care of them, I still want to make sure that I'm taking care of me for real. Not just at the surface, but seriously, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of me. And from taking care of the outward and making sure my hair was done, making sure my nails done, I stayed in somebody's store shopping, okay? That was me at one point in my life. That was a part of my self-care journey. And honestly, sometimes I will prioritize that over the healed version of myself, learning about myself, rediscovering who I am in a particular season. When you begin to live intentional, your entire self-care journey is just different. There was a time where I prioritized on the top of my list how I would look on the outside. My hair had to be done, my nails had to be done, but deep down inside I was broken. I was broken, and so I dare not go back to that version of me. I love looking good, don't get me wrong, but at no point will I ever go back to prioritizing that above my inner health and my inner being. I hope that encouraged you. If you get what I'm saying, make sure you comment below. And that is the same thing I'm encouraging my daughters to do. I want them to understand that, hey, it's good to be beautiful. It's good to take time in how you look and how you present yourself, because you are a child of the Most High. You are a daughter of the King. I tell my daughters all the time, yes, it's okay to care about how you look on the outside. Make sure you're looking good and presenting yourself well and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, baby, don't forget taking care of your inner being, okay? Make sure that you're investing into who you are on the inside. That is so important. That is going to carry you through all the duration of your life. Charm is deceitful and beauty is vain. That beauty will fade away. It will fade away. And when it fades away, will you have what it takes? Will you have what it takes at the end of the day for yourself? Not for anybody else, but will you have what it takes for yourself to operate out of a place of wholesomeness? Will you? That's something to think about. And I feel like society nowadays, they advertise the glitz and the glam of life. One thing about me, baby, I'm gonna throw on the wig and I'm gonna keep it moving. And if time permit, I might even do my hair. But guess what? Ashley, you're gonna have that joy and that peace, baby. That's what I'm after. I'm after the joy and the peace and the freedom that God promised me that I could have. That's what I'm after at the end of the day. Yeah, it's all good to be cute. It's all good to get dressed up, get dolled up. If you have that within your capacity, if you have the capacity for all that, yes, I'm going to prioritize that, but that is not on the top of my to-do list when it comes to self-care, baby. Them days are over. When I didn't know better, I did that. Or when I didn't have the responsibilities that I have now, I did that. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with caring for yourself beyond what the eyes can see, if that makes sense. There is nothing wrong with caring for your mental or caring for your spirit, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, don't get it twisted. Y'all see it. Y'all stroll on. If you stroll on social media all day, it's easy to fall into that trap. I'm telling you, because everybody, and it especially depending on what social site you go on, because Instagram, baby, everything is glitz and glam, baby. You would think that everybody is dolled up all the time. Why? Because we put out what we want others to see. Each and every one of us, most of us, we put out what we want others to see. Not many of us are really posting the not so great moments, right? And so what I've learned over time is that when time permits, yes, I will get cute and I will get dolled up and I will look absolutely gorgeous, which I'm gonna look gorgeous regardless, but y'all get what I'm saying. Like, I think what it is we get so trapped into the image, wanting to have this, present ourselves in this particular way that we want others to see us, when the truth of the matter is, you be miserable inside. Many of the times you just be miserable. And what I want to help free you from is, when it comes to self-care, begin to do the work on the inside and allow that light to shine through. You will begin to see that you reach a level of freedom, that you experience a level of joy, a level of peace that is unknown to a lot of men, simply because they won't do the work. Okay, when you take that time, and instead of taking those 30 minutes to go do something else, take those 30 minutes to maybe read a book, to gain some self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not be the most fun thing to do, but even if you take 10 minutes for that, then you can use the other 10 minutes to do something else, like maybe get your brows done or whatever else. But at the end of the day, girl, I'm telling you, if I could have told the younger version of myself anything, it would have definitely been to focus on the inside, and allow that to begin to work itself out. I'm telling you, there's a big difference, and you're not gonna see this on social media. You just not, unless you following some people that are very intentional about their journeys and intentional about thriving in life. I will dare to say anybody that focus more on the outward is simply surviving. Okay, they have not reached the level where they experience peace, where they are actually thriving in life. No, you're stuck in survival mode. You have not one time put any energy towards what will sustain you years to come when your beauty begins to fade. That is what we should be prioritizing to do, focusing on the inside. Okay, and again, I don't have anything against getting your nails done, getting your hair done, pampering yourself. Lord knows that day is gonna come, and when it comes, when I have the capacity, I'm gonna do all of that and some, because I actually love getting massages. If it was left up to me, I would get massages way more often than I do now. Okay, I would probably be sitting in a chiropractor office. Probably I would probably be getting stretches. I would probably be going to the gym. And even now, if I can't go to the gym, baby, ain't nothing wrong with a jump rope in the kitchen or in the backyard. Ain't nothing wrong with taking the children to the park and walking while they are playing. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So there is ways to substitute in the process. But again, self-care should make sense, okay? Not just for who you are today, but who you are evolving to become. If there's things on your self-care list that you prioritize at the top, and that is not investing in your future self, baby, bring it down a notch or two. Put that further towards the end. Not saying that it's not important, but put it further towards the end, because you're no good for nobody else if you're not truly taking care of yourself in a way that is conducive for the people you gotta actually care for. All right, so y'all, don't laugh, but I hope y'all can relate. You ever have those moments like when your children come to you and they be like, Mom, will you do this or da da da, and you be looking at them like, ask your mama to do it. But then you realize all of a sudden, like, wait a minute, I'm the mama. Yeah, that be me. That be me. And you know what that does for me? That's kind of like the alert that I use to let me know, like, Ashley, it's time for you to spend some time with yourself. It's time for you to get a mama break. It's time for you to get away from the children for a minute. And so I love that, even though it don't sound good. Don't get me wrong, it don't sound good. And maybe I'm by myself. I don't know. Maybe I don't have those moments. But I still appreciate that, because that lets me know, again, girl, it's time for you to get you a break and love up on yourself a little bit, okay? Because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You know, I always say in this series, I want it to feel like we on the couch and we chopping it up, right? Today I want to do something a little different, and I hope y'all don't mind. But I want you to take a moment, right? You can get your pen, you can get your paper. It might feel a little homeworky, but that's okay, because you're working on being a better version of yourself. You're working on being intentional about thriving in not just motherhood, but thriving in all areas of life. And baby, listen, you're more than just a mother. You are a daughter of the King. You are your own individual self. And so it's very important that we understand that one day them babies ain't gonna be there. They're going to be grown. They're going to be up and out. And you don't want to have to get back to the place where it's like, well, who am I? Because you poured so much into the children that you left nothing for yourself. So I want to leave some homework with y'all if y'all open to it. What I realize is that it is so hard to properly care for yourself when you are not aware of who you are. Self-awareness is the door that opens to a life where you are successful when it comes to self-care, whether it be an hour of a week. The more you know who you are, the more you become more aware of the things that you like, the things that you don't like, you will begin to tap into a level of self-care that you will not imagine, right? And I know this only because I'm speaking from experience. You have to customize this experience for yourself. You can't even go off of what I said that I do, but you have to take the time to realize exactly who you are, the things that you like, the things that you don't like. And this is one of the greatest acts of self-care, to be honest, when you become more self-aware of who you are and learning more about the things that you like, the things that you don't like, learning about even as it relates to your healing journey, right? Learning about the things that try to come up against you, the things that the things that, oh gosh, y'all, help me out. trigger you, right? The things that trigger you, just anything like that. Those are the things that are molding you, because you're always changing, you're always evolving, and prayerfully we're evolving to a better version of ourselves. But those are the things that's going to help you become more aware of who you are, and also that is going to impact your level of success when it comes to caring for yourself. So the first thing I want you to do is grab your pen, grab your notebook, and I want you to take a moment just to think about what are the things that you actually enjoy doing. Like, you would think like that's not a hard question, but I'm gonna be honest, many of us have lost our identity in motherhood, and many of us are struggling to find out, like, what do I like? Wait a minute. So you mean to tell me I don't like Grace's Corner? Hold on, y'all.
Do you want cheese?
Go ahead. Shut the door. Shut the door. So you mean to tell me I don't like Grace's Corner? You mean to tell me I don't like playing with my baby all day long? Because ain't nothing wrong with playing your baby, because Lord knows I have my moments where I just want to, ooh, please slow down time. Don't go nowhere, stay still. Sheesh. But then I have those moments where I'm just like, all right now, who's supposed to fix this bottle for you, this next bottle for you, because you're depleted or because you're overwhelmed? And so it's natural, but those are alerts. If we allow it, those are alerts to let us know, like, hey, you need a break. And so you have to give yourself permission to get those mama breaks so you can come back stronger than before. It's his turn, Aiden. I want you to ask yourself these 2 questions. What is it that you like to do? Write it down too. Take your time and write it down. And then I also want you to ask yourself, how are you taking care of yourself these days? Okay? I really do. I want you to ask yourself those 2 questions. I feel like that is going to open up a door that I will behoove you to walk into. Only because on the other side of that door, you will begin to experience a level of peace, a level of joy, and you will find yourself being strengthened to do what it is that God has called you to do, which is nurture the children, take care of the children, to be a wife, to be a business owner, to be all of the many things, to be a friend. Y'all know how we do. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Also, be sure to share it with your mama friend, girl. Listen, we don't gatekeep, we don't hold nothing back. Feel free to share whatever it is, whether you're an aspired mother, whether you are a mom to be, whether you are a mother that has fully allowed all the children to grow up and now they are out of the home, you've raised adults, whether you are just starting your journey of motherhood. Congratulations, girl. If you're a mom, if you're an aunt, if you're a teacher, that any type of mother figure, be sure to comment below any encouragement that you might have for your moms that might be struggling, or if there's something that you experience and you need advice. Feel free to comment in the comment section, because over here, listen, we all in this together. Oh yeah, and another thing, why do I wear wigs, baby? Because wigs save me so much of time. I'm not gonna be out here looking any kind of way, but I also want to make sure I'm taking the time that God gave me, and I'm making sure I'm stewarding it well by focusing on the inside and then working my way out. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Thank y'all for watching. Bye.